what makes you believe that the defendant failed to disclose to you a problem with the water valve in this primary shower and a problem with the hose outside that might eventually cause the flooding?
Well, it's more than just the hose, but with the shower, as my daughter and I were walking through, she said that she had never used the master bedroom shower, and we thought that was really odd. And then she said, no, it was too small and she was too big for it. And I looked at her and thought, well, she's such a tiny person. I don't know how that could be, but you know, some people like bigger spaces, so I just let it go. And then she was very adamant about, don't turn on the hose, don't do this because, you know, the water will go everywhere. And she said, just use the drip system. And I just thought, okay, whatever, figuring, you know, that's how she did it, but I'll do stuff differently. When I moved in, obviously the shower was not working at all. And then I went to hose things down and use the hose, and my garage kind of flooded.
Right.
And I thought, okay, well, maybe that's just how this is. But then when it rained, my entire garage flooded. And because it rained at a time when I hadn't finished moving in, I had all of my boxes, my furniture, my everything in the garage.
And you claim that you're damaged to the amount of $5,000 because
Correct.
of that. Now, Ms. Watman, you say that you didn't keep anything from the defendant.
No.
Indeed, you say that you had an inspection
Yes.
done to that.
Melissa had the inspection.
Tell us why you feel you're not responsible for the flooding damage that occurred.
Well, I first found out that Melissa was going to sue me shortly after an atmospheric river passed through the Central Valley and caused flooding in Fresno. A few days after that, the realtor contacted me and said that her bedroom was flooded and she had to replace the carpet, and she was suing me for the responsibility of the carpet. Then I never heard another word for almost a year. And so I thought, well, she knows that was an absurd suit, and she dropped it. But then a year later, a Superior Court of Fresno contacted me, and they said that she was suing me because of a plumbing and landscaping issue.
Prior to moving in and prior to the closing, the defendant was required to give you a disclosure statement. Am I correct?
Right, this is what this is. It's the disclosures. And it says on there that there's no flooding, drainage, or grading problems, and she had marked no.
Is that true? Did you indicate that on the disclosure form?
If it's on that form, on the disclosure, yes, I did tell her about it prior.
All right, let's see the video.
Well, right now, I think the water's all kind of going underneath the tiles here, because if you'll see, there's mud coming up here. It's the barriers that are full is the problem, see? This one's actually exploding out. I mean, I stopped it from going here, which is fantastic. It is soaking on this side because it's coming from underneath right here. So that sucks. Oh, yuck. And it's wet all the way to that line. It's like 4 feet in. Very damp. Oh my. That's as high as it gets. Just like a trickle. So this is it with the shower head off. That's all the water you get, and then it dies.
All right, now that condition with respect to the valve, was that from the very beginning of your move-in?
That was actually taken the very, first day, maybe the second day that I moved in.
Were you aware of that, Ms. Watman?
No, I used it, but I didn't use that one as often because the person who lived there before me was in her 90s and she was much shorter than me, so I always used the guest bathroom.
Now, at some point in time, your garage roof began to leak, and you called in a roofer.
Well, I called the HOA, and they call a roofer, and that not my responsibility or hers. But when the roofer was there, he had said that he had fixed leaks in the roof before, and that Ellen had told him that the garage floods when it rains. And that's when I said to myself, gosh darn it, you know, she knew.
Now, Ms. Watman, did you have problems in the past?
No, I only had a problem with it when I first moved in, and I called the HOA, and they came over and fixed it, and that was the end of it. I lived there for 5 years. I never had a problem with flooding or landscaping of any kind or plumbing ever in the 5 years.